This is going to be a public live stream as it is 2 days after Christmas. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun with the Christmas special. I'm gonna give at everyone who started click the green icon. Yeah, yeah, I feel some people are, and there will also be a little chat. Oh, for today's stream, please chat in general. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions or anything like that, what we're gonna be doing is just ask questions in general. And we're gonna go from there. This is just gonna give you a taste of what my favorite typically like. Without further ado, in 60 FPS with 1440 peak quality. So I'm gonna wait for a few more people to join, and we'll get started. Hope everyone has had good holidays, a good Christmas, good trading, and all. Um, to get right into it, just to start, I'm gonna give just volume to keep this simple for you guys. To get into it, I have a very funny theory that I want to begin the stream with. I'm thinking, I know it's quite obvious, but I'm thinking that a lot of people gave Bitcoin for, like Christmas gifts and stuff like that. And now we're seeing the result of that. All the new money coming in, getting gifted Bitcoin, they're just all selling potentially, maybe, you know? That could be what's happening now with that. But today's stream is going to be covering all live scalping, live trading, live poly market trading. Should be pretty fun. As a viewer, all you have to do is just sit back and relax. If you want, you can copy my trades, but of course, it is not advised because you really want to know the theory behind these trades. You don't want to just copy what I do blindly. Okay. The two platforms that we are going to be using to execute trades are, of course, one of the most famous of Polymarket, as well as BingX, who I have a partnership with up right now. So, a few things so far for the guys that are in the Discord, in the private part of the Discord. The recent play that I took has been successful. So, this Bitcoin above 97,000, I actually bought it below 50%. I bought it at 33%, and it's going to just about expire to 100%. So, you can see here, yeah. So, this is quite another, just another win for Polymarket. I don't really want to give away the pretty cool strategy that we use in order to trade profitably on Polymarket. But if anyone's curious about that strategy, you do get access to it if you subscribe. So there's that. But on an account of about, I think I started with like $600, we've made 1.2 grand on Polymarket because Polymarket is very, very inefficient. So that's been that's been quite nice. And here are just some of the prices that are ending soon. If anyone wants to trade this, what you could do is trade these before they expire. So, a quick tip for everyone on Poly that sees these markets that say, expire December 27th, that is in, by my math, 1.5 hours. Because that will be noon Eastern, and I'm on Central Time. So that would be 11 a.m. Central Time. So that would be in about an hour and a half. So these are going to expire very, very soon, meaning that if you trade them, they're going to be very, very volatile, right? All the ones that say, hey, above, below on December 27th. You can see here, because we only have an hour 20 left now before these guys expire, do you guys see that the prices are quite extreme? It's either at 100% or like 3. And, that makes sense. So we can go look at Dogecoin. How far ahead is Dogecoin to point 0.3? Let me go see that. So this expires in what amount of time? Wow. Actually, we're not that far away from point 0.3. Actually, yeah, kind of. Point 0.3 is right here, as you can see. But you would need Doge to really fall to be below 30 cents on December 27th. For those curious about Polymarket, the markets that they use to track crypto prices are Binance USDT pairs, not perp. So it'd be like Doge USDT, BTC USDT on Binance. One play you could do, I don't know if I love this play, but one thing you could think about potentially is buying No. At like, let's say you put a bid out at like 3 or 4 cents and then trying to flip it and double your money, where like, you do something like this where you buy it at 3, and then once you buy, if price goes down on Doge a little bit, maybe breaks support, you can sell it for like 3 times your money. Dangerous, but I mean, it is something you could do. Just for fun. I mean, I could try to throw out a bid for 2. But the issue is I would really need Doge to fall. I would really need Doge to fall a lot more than it is now, and I don't think that's going to happen. But I will say, guys, Bitcoin is kind of tanking right now. So if all times to get in on it, now might be the time. Bitcoin's not looking too strong right now. Might be down. Will very very likely be a down day today. So if I was to put just this kind of trade out, just a little tester. What if I did 500? At $10 that I'm willing to burn. I'm wondering if anyone would fill my 500 at 2 cents. I highly doubt it. I'll probably cancel it soon, but it's just like a little bit of a feeler there. Yeah, it's only $10, but it's getting front ran as you can see, so that it's just not going to get filled. Yeah, because someone else is going to try to do 2.1. Yeah. Guys, what I am bidding on right now is a 0 to 100 contract on Polymarket that's betting on whether Doge in an hour and 20 minutes is going to be above or below 30 cents. That's one thing that I was looking at there. But doesn't really seem like there's much I can do. I don't think I'm going to get filled on a pair like that. Obviously, I'm not going to sell this early. There's just no reason to sell it early, because I'd be giving up 1 cent of profit. Because I could sell it at 99, as you can see from latest. But why would I sell at 99 when we're 4 grand away from 97,000? So, could price go above 97,000 in an hour 20? I mean, it could, but it's quite unlikely. So there's no reason for me to really like sell or anything here. Okay, one of the more popular things that I've been doing is looking at Google Trends. This is probably the greatest indicator that I have in predicting Bitcoin. The two ways that I use to predict Bitcoin are one, Google Trends, and two, aggregated volume. Now, I'm going to be giving you guys a bit of an alpha boost with this indicator right here. And I also want to show you guys my settings so that we can have a conversation about the power of volume and the power of Google Trends. These are the 9 exchanges that I use. And the indicator that you can search for right now on TradingView is called Aggregated Volume by Haldro. Yeah, Haldro, Haldro. It's really a good indicator because it aggregates 9 different exchanges of your choosing. But not only that, it also does, as you can see down here, it also does spot pairs, such as US dollar, USDT, but it also does futures. Futures pairs are denoted by USD.P and more popularly known as USDT.P. So it aggregates spots, perpetuals, everything really. So this source of volume is going to be probably one of the most accurate sources of crypto volume on the planet, especially with my settings where I've just picked the 9 biggest exchanges, as you can see here. You might argue that maybe one or two of these aren't the biggest exchanges on the planet, but I think that these are the 9 that I would submit. Maybe someone would say, "Hey, how about Kraken or Huobi or whatever, however you pronounce it, might be bigger than these, but maybe Huobi. I don't know about Kraken." But yeah, one of the most powerful indicators that I like to look at is volume. So let's go do a volume analysis and let's also do a Google Trends analysis. To first, before we trade, we're going to be doing a where do we think Bitcoin's going to go today? Because it's too easy for me to just say down, right? Let's go take a look at the volume. The typical way that you want to look at volume is who's winning. So when we look here, what's larger on this trend? Don't think about the price. Don't look at the price. Look at this. Who is stronger? The buyers. Up to this point, no one could argue that the sellers were in control, right? So from here to here, guys, the sellers were just not in control. Then look at that. This is a beautiful sign for you to sell, for you to short Bitcoin. If you are a swing trader or a scalper, this amount of selling, guys, typically leads to continued selling, especially because what I like to look for volume, I would say if you want to go to the next level with your trading, another thing that I look for isn't just what's larger, green or red, but reaction. So sometimes what you're going to see, guys, is if you see a bunch of markets selling, so that would be red like this. You see a bunch of markets selling. What you need to go look for is on the next few candles, how much market buying occurs, if any. Now, if there is not much market buying at all, then price is probably just going to go down. If there's a strong reaction and a lot of market buying, then price might actually reverse. So that's one way you can actually see, who is in control to look at reactions. So let me see if I can get you guys some very good examples. And try to see if I have any. Basically, what you're looking for is when you see both a buy volume spike and this one's perfect. This is a very, very, very good example. This is a long time ago, guys, but I want you to look at the volume. This is a lot of selling, but there are price wicks, which shows a bit of weakness. Not only that, but there actually was a decent reaction of the bulls. So people sold and it created wicks, which is already bullish, right? But not only that, what also happened is there was a reaction where the buyers took over. And do you see the lack of selling? This was a sign that the trend that it was an uptrend and it was likely to continue. The only time where you might have gotten scared was here. So the reason why I care so much about volume, guys, just to let you know, is I made a YouTube video where I back tested all of the indicators that are popular, like anything from order book levels to liquidation levels to volume levels to really anything. And guess what came up as the most predictive indicator on backtest? Made a YouTube video about this, but the answer is volume. And more specifically, it's volume delta. The most accurate mathematically indicator, forward looking, meaning what happens now is going to predict the future, is volume. Okay. So the more I think about it, the more I made YouTube videos on it, the more I wanted to educate as many people as possible on, it's a basic indicator, sure, volume. But the funny thing that I see about this indicator, guys, do you know how many streamers like Sato or ZZ, streamers that I like to counter, they do this. They don't even look at volume. They just do this and look at the price. This is idiotic. If you right now are guilty of just looking at price movement and not volume, I mean, I would probably change your ways. I think that it's probably better that you look at volume. It's not something you can just gloss over. Now, you might say, well, Bennett, why? Give me a 20-second spiel on why you should not look at this. Well, for one, you're never going to ever be able to tell continuation versus reversal. Because if you don't have volume, you're just looking at price structure, which can work, but it's shoddy at best. But it can work, but I don't know. You're looking at price structure, but what you really need to look at is okay. So there was a decent amount of imagine that we were back in time, and imagine that this just happened. You need to go look at how much selling just occurred. If you just look at this chart right here, this is not any information that could be helpful to you. And why? Well, here's the really cool thing about volume. Imagine the price went down, but no one was selling. No one cared. Well, then what's going to likely happen to price? Price is likely going to go back up. But what would happen if there was actually a bunch of selling, like what you're about to see pop up on my screen? Well, if there was a bunch of selling, boom, that is a crazy amount of selling. If we go off the moving average, that's about a spike of a 7x, maybe a 6 or 7x of the volume moving average. So, yeah, so you can see it says 260,000 Bitcoin were sold. Let me say that again. 260,000 Bitcoin were sold in a 1 hour period. That is very, very, very bearish. Now imagine that the amount of volume here was like this right here with that amount of price movement. I would actually be kind of bullish. I would think that we're probably going to go sideways or up. But with this much selling, it means that we're likely going to go down. Now, you might say, well, Bennett, give me the psychology. Give me that golden alpha of why. Why is it that volume is the strongest indicator on the planet when it comes to really any kind of time frame trading? Well, why it's the strongest or maybe one of the strongest, top 3 for sure, indicators on the planet. Think about it this way. What do markets want? Markets want activity. Markets want volatility. People that control markets, people that allow markets to form or to, they operate them. What do they want from you? They want fees, right? They want fees. So I want to ask you a question. Imagine that price goes up and price goes down. But when price goes up, no one cares. No one trades. But when price goes down, 20 times as many people are trading. Where do you think price is going to go in the future? In the very short term. You could even answer it in the general chat here if you're not afraid. If everyone is trading when price goes down, but no one cares when price goes up, what that's basically saying is that price is very, very likely going to go down. And there are a lot of reasons for that. One big reason is if you just think about market activity is going to be begetting market activity. Simply put, what I'm saying is if a lot of people are selling, that can actually hit people's liquidations, that can hit people's stop losses, that can make people fearful, which can cause them to sell. But if there's not much market buying, what does that mean? Well, we're not likely to hit a lot of stop losses. We're not likely to hit a lot of liquidations. And we're not really, the masses of people aren't really piling in to buy something. So volume is very, very, very important for really diagnosing where price is going to go in the future. And yeah, there are a few different frameworks that you can use. The one framework is, where would the market makers want price to go? Well, the market makers just want fees. They don't care about price movement. And if price going down creates fees, then say hello to lower Bitcoin because it's going to go down. Okay. Hope that that all makes sense. You can use this kind of trading on any kind of time frame. You could actually, if you so desire, go to the 1 second time frame, and this will get you aggregated volume from 9 different exchanges for free. Well, actually, maybe not for free because you need a premium subscription. But this, if you are a very short term scalper, not a great way to trade. But if you are, this could actually be a really good way to do it. What would you look for? Well, you would look for something called supply and demand runs, where essentially you're looking for how strong a supply run or a string of sells are versus a demand run, a string of buys. Now, if you look here, this is a price situation that, just to let you know in the future, never buy, ever. So the typical rules for buying, or really the only rules I have for buying, is I'm not going to buy until, you know, there's a little bit of bullish momentum, because if you don't adhere to that rule, you're just going to be buying a falling knife. Because look at this. No one has indicated that they want to sell, that they want to buy. Everyone is selling. Why on earth would you ever buy here? If you are doing a high leverage, Bitcoin long, why would you ever long here? When do you long? Well, you want to long when a little bit more buying comes in. I mean, this is the 1 second time frame, so it's very, very, very choppy and very, very short term. But you need to only buy when you begin to see some people actually market buying. This is a really crappy example, but this could maybe work. But you really need to wait for more buying than that, right? And are we getting any buying right now? We're getting a little bit of buying right now, so this could create a little bit of demand to push us higher. That's a little bit of a spiel on Bitcoin's volume. This kind of indicator does work for altcoins as well, except a lot of those altcoins are going to be very, very, very correlated to Bitcoin. So, volume analysis on Bitcoin might be your best bet. With that little explanation out of the way, let's get into Google Trends, and then after Google Trends, we will get into scalping altcoins. Okay. Google Trends, let's go see how popular Bitcoin is past 30 days, just to see when interest is spiking. For those that do not know, December 5th was the most popular day in the last month of December, in this month of December. Now, what happened December 5th was not a strong uptrend. It was actually a very violent downtrend. I can show you on the 1 hour chart what December 5th was. Memorized it. It was this. It was a crazy day of selling where we went from a 104 all the way down to, on some exchanges, $90,000. So that was a 14 grand drop, which is an absurd, absurd price drop. 14 grand. That's a lot. And that obviously created a surge of Google Trends. Now, for trading with Google Trends, the strategy that I use is I look at the price movement, I look at the volume movement, and then I coincide Google Trends with that. If we have a strong uptrend, and then you get just a burst of searches, then what I'm looking for is a little bit of a come down from the peak to tell me that a market reversal is happening. The way that Google Trends will show you price trends is quite interesting. What's going to happen is, if price is going down and interest is surging, well, then price will likely keep going down. But once interest begins to wane, what tends to happen is actually price reverses. And it's the same when price is going up. So if price is going up a lot, and we see searches increasing, the way that I take that, guys, is demand is increasing for Bitcoin, right? That people want to buy this thing. But what happens when demand begins to wane? Well, when demand begins to wane for, in Google Trends here, that's a very strong sign that price might be going down soon. And that's how I use Google Trends to trade. Now, what do we see right now? Pretty normal movement, nothing too crazy. We see a little bit of interest coming in. Could mean we're a bit bullish, but or bearish, depending on how price wants to be today. But you can see the interest here. There really hasn't been any strong point of crazy amount of interest, except December 20th at 9 a.m., which I think we were quite bullish. No, we were actually quite bearish. So December 20th at 9 a.m. was just about the market bottom. As you can see here, let me not show you my email. December 20th, 9 a.m. was the market bottom. Now, how could you have used Google Trends to take advantage of that? 9 a.m. was right here, right? At that market low. Well, what if you're really good at this thing, is when you begin to see searches begin to fall like 10 a.m., that's a sign that whatever current trend is happening is dying. So this could be a sign for you to take a reversal trade, i.e., to long. So this is in my top three list of best indicators for Bitcoin. It's up there with aggregated volume. And Google Trends is just quite strong. Another little hack you can do is you can actually look up exchanges like Coinbase or Binance. And there's actually a really cool reason why this works. When you look up an exchange like Binance, a lot of people look up that exchange to trade. They're going to be using that to buy or sell Bitcoin, right? So if you see Bitcoin absolutely skyrocketing and you see a surge of searches for Binance, and then out of nowhere, the surge of searches for Binance begins to stop. And you begin to see us actually come down a little bit. What does that mean? Well, what that means is that a lot of people are Google searching their exchange of choice. But then out of nowhere, guess what just happened? People are not as interested anymore. And if people are not as interested, then that trend is likely to reverse. So this is Binance, and you can see that this is web searches. And you can see that the peak was December 24th at 8 a.m. That's when a lot of people searched Binance and were likely logged in. And the funny thing is that was just about here. And then we just kind of paused and then went down. So that was, near the top of that little climb right there, as you can see. Now here, searches are quite high, but really not as high as this point here or this point here, December 20th at 10 a.m. So does anyone here have any questions about Google Trends? Anyone? It's a pretty helpful tool. You can also use it if you want for other purposes, such as like you look at top related. So you could look up top, what else is being searched. So if you use Glimpse, which is a free extension that I have, it's going to also give you access to things like bubble maps, where it shows you what are other popular searches. Why is that important? Well, if you're looking for the next meme coin, this could actually be a pretty good way to find the next meme coin. What you do is you look at Rising. You can look at top or you can look at Rising, but both work, to be honest with you. And what you want to look for is other coins that are mentioned that are not Bitcoin. So you can look up crypto. You can look up any related search term. But if you see any crypto that maybe is new, then that could be a good sign that that coin's gonna keep going higher. So if I look up crypto, crypto is a quite popular term. If we go down to here, we can see, oh my gosh, look at all this. You can see all of the coins that are rising. And that's actually a really good way if you want to hop onto a trend. So BGB, ICAI, I don't know really many of these. Let me actually go see if this is a ticker in crypto. No, but what is the one? BGB? BGB is. That's Bitget. So that's actually rising. And look at that. You can see how Google Trends coincides so well with a surge in price. So Bitget is doing very, very well. This is their native token, their exchange token. And I mean, wow. So Bitget must be just very successful right now, making a lot of money through fees, partnerships, maybe trading. Well, actually, hopefully not. But look at the volume. Everyone's buying. Not many people are selling. This is a very, very, very impressive trend. So I don't know if I can. Yeah, I probably can't trade that here. But this could be something you could consider buying. However, we need to do a deeper dive to really predict the market tops and stuff like that. So that's actually quite interesting. Let's go take a little bit of a deep dive into BitGet and BGB. So I could look up BGB by itself without the crypto. But the issue with that is it's going to be a lot of searches that don't have anything to do with crypto, right? Well, luckily, you can see related topics are all cryptocurrency, which is good. Like Digibyte, OKX is obviously these are very, very crypto. BNB coin, obviously, that's cryptocurrency as well. So let's go take a look at searches for BGB. The token that's doing quite well. And then after that, we're going to look at searches of just BitGet because I would assume that searches of BitGet are going to coincide pretty well with BGB. So what do we see? Well, we saw a peak of interest that was at 3 in the morning, or sorry, 4 in the morning this day. So 4 in the morning, what time was that? That was at the market top. You can see that's just about at the market top right up here. So that's when searches were at their highest. But then what happened? Well, people aren't as interested anymore. That's not a good sign. Typically, that's a sign the price could actually maybe go down. I do know that there is correlation to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up, this coin will probably go up. But yeah, this is not a great sign for that. If you want price to keep skyrocketing, what do you need to have happen? Well, you need a lot more people Google searching it. Why? Well, if no one's Google searching it, then that can indicate a lack of demand. That can indicate a lack of market buying, and that can be a problem, right? So what we need to have happen is for Google searches to keep showing us that more demand is coming in, more outside money is coming in. We can also look at just Google searches of the exchange itself, just to go see kind of what's going on, and you can see it coincides pretty much the exact same with BGB. 5 a.m. December 22nd, though, was when most people Google searched it, but maybe that actually didn't have anything at all to do with this token. Maybe that actually had to do more with the price of Bitcoin. But this is just a phenomenal way that you can use Google searches in order to predict market tops and market bottoms. So, without further ado, let's get into Orion Terminal. And again, if you guys have any questions about my scalper setups, how I do this, or any questions about Google Trends, do let me know in the general. I'm making sure that no one else is chatting in the other rooms. Yeah, make sure you just chat in general. Oh, perfect. Everyone is. Okay. So what I like to look for this right here, I like to look for coins that have a lot of open interest increasing or decreasing because that can be a good forecast for volatility. Joe USDT, oh, that has a 74% correlation. I don't know about that. I don't know if I want to trade something with a correlation to Bitcoin that high. This has about a 50% correlation. Plus 0.529 is pretty correlated. The issue with scalping altcoins, guys, is that a lot of these coins are just going to be heavily correlated to Bitcoin. However, luckily GMT is not. So maybe actually GMT could be a good trade. So in order to see if something is a good trade, I do have a really good way to look at that, where I'm going to be looking at things like volume delta, and I'm also going to be looking at things like you can see here. I'm also going to be looking at things like open interest profile and stuff like that. So this is a phenomenal site. This is known as Coinalyze. And on Coinalyze, you can see market selling, you can see market buying, and stuff like that. You can see that the market sellers do have a bit of a presence here, guys. So this is looking decently bearish, I would say. I mean, there are people that are definitely wanting to sell. If I go a little bit more zoomed down on GMT, we can go see. At the same time, there is one problem, and that problem is that there's a very high amount of open interest. For those that don't know, open interest is a good measure for trap traders, or also known as support or resistance levels. So, guys, if open interest rises a lot at, like, let's say here, what tends to happen is that if price goes up, a lot of people who had entered short here are going to be trapped in their position. That's a fact. What does that mean, though? Well, what that means is that if we go up and then we come back down to this market range, it will very likely act as support. It will act as support because all the shorts that are trapped here are likely going to want to get out of their positions by buying. And that surge of buying and surge of demand is going to cause people, cause price to not go down here and to just be bought right back up. And it's the same if price goes down. If price goes down, then the shorts are happy and the longs are trapped. And if the longs are trapped, then if price ever goes back up, there's going to be a lot of supply and a lot of people wanting to sell in this price range. So a very good way that you can actually see that visually is a beautiful indicator known as the OI profile. And that's this guy right here. In green shows you where people initiated, created, or added to their futures positions. In red is where people exited their positions. Now, what do we glean from this? Well, what I can tell you is that you have a pretty decently strong resistance point at 205. So, what does that mean? Well, what it means is that if price goes up to 205, I would be happy to short. However, if price breaks 205, that would be breaking of a major resistance level, which is very bullish. So, with that strategy being said, what I would probably want to do is short here and have a very tight stop loss around here and maybe convert to a long actually if price breaks the high. Because what I would expect is price maybe can go back up here. I can short and make some money that way. Or what could also happen is I lose money on my short, price goes up, I buy, and then we surge. I think that that's not a bad idea. So that would be known as a flip and reverse trade. You flip the side because you were proven wrong. So is it possible that both trades could lose? Yeah, of course it is, but I don't think that that's a bad idea whatsoever. Yeah, the only issue I have, guys, is look at this market selling. So I can also pull this guy up here, but if you look at the volume on the bottom indicator right here, you can actually see on the 1 minute 1 minute time frame. I'll just zoom out a little bit for you. You can actually see a decent amount of selling, and look at that. That is not a tiny amount of selling, right? So there is actually some selling coming in. So this coin might be a bit tough to trade. But what I would love to do is to short at that level right here above. So, like I said, 204, 205. So with that being said, we are going to actually put out an order at 204 for I could do how much should I do? I could do 5 grand. So I can do 5 grand up there at 204. Now, typically, I wouldn't recommend doing round numbers though, because it's just too obvious. So I'm going to do 204.42. I think that's a lot better. 204.43. I don't really care. 442 versus that. So there you go. That is the first order. Obviously, it is not executed yet because we are not at that price, but I like my odds here. I like my odds because if we can float up to my level, we're going to be hitting some really strong resistance, guys. And what I would expect to happen, and after the stream, you're going to go see if I was right or wrong. What I would expect to happen is, we have a high here where we trap some buyers. We go a little bit lower, we trap some buyers here, and then we have another last high here before tanking. If anyone's curious, I can actually give you some pretty cool market theory on why does price make lower lows, lower highs. You're going to see this kind of price structure quite often in a downtrend, and there are some very, very, very good reasons why this is going to occur. Now, does anyone in chat have any ideas why we get lows and higher lows instead of more wonky price movement where prices, going all over the place? There is a reason for it. And if anyone is in the private Discord, they probably already know the reason. But it's too simple for you to just draw a trend line. So here's what I'm saying. There are some people who will look at technical analysis and they will just draw a trend line. I hate that idea. Why do I hate that idea? Because when you draw that trend line, you're not looking at the market psychology. You're not looking at market psych. You're not really looking at anything about people's actions. All that you're looking at is just price movement in the past. What do I look at that's a bit different and that I would argue is better than me just doing, hey, look at these sloping down lows. I expect it to be here. No, that's not the way that you should be doing this at all. Here's the answer. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to think of your own answer, and then I'm going to reveal why this kind of thing happens in a vacuum. So, have an idea in mind of why do you think altcoins do this kind of movement? To trap the bad money. The answer is to trap the late buyers, to trap the bad money, to trap the people that bought the market top. What do I mean by that? Bad retail traders buy market tops. That's a fact. And when they buy market tops, a lot of them will get very emotional and they will likely want to sell at break even. And because they try to sell at break even, get out at break even, price can never even go back up to that top. So if you ever see this kind of movement with, a lower high, typically that continues and price does tend to keep going lower. But the reason isn't because of some stupid trend line. The real reason is because if a lot of people buy a market top, guys, do you know how strong of a resistance level that becomes? Now, you might say, wait, Bennett, but that means that there's a lot of demand at a market top. Yes, there was in the past. But the thing is, past demand can become future supply, right? What do I mean by that? Well, past buying, if you go back to that price level, that can become future supply, meaning future selling. So that is one thing to think of. An additional higher level theory that you can also think of is what I like to call, the pool of buyers versus the pool of sellers. So there are a limited amount of people that are going to be interested in buying something, right? I mean, in anything in the world, there actually is a limited amount of buying that can occur. There's only so much that you can really buy. There's only so many people that can buy something. Let's say that we have a pool of buyers that's kind of maxing out. That would be the market top, right? Because we're maxing out demand at that price point. So it's just a bit of market theory on why you get these kinds of formations. I hope that that's helpful going forward. So we have our first order in here. What I'm also going to look for is any more immediate trades that I can take. And to look for some more immediate trades, I can look at 5-minute change, 15-minute change, just to kind of go look at short-term price movements. So this one doesn't have as strong of a correlation to Bitcoin and has actually a lot of demand. So this one does seem like it would be quite interesting, Velodrome. And I'm hoping that my offer fills here, but it might not. But this coin is a coin that I am actually curious about potentially just market buying. So what's going on here? Well, first of all, open interest is increasing a lot, meaning a lot of people are initiating positions. Second of all, we have all demand. We have no supply. Do you see this? Yes, we did have supply here. Yes, we did have selling, but at the current price point, demand is destroying supply. The market buying is just really outpacing the market selling. Do you see that? So this price point right here, this would have been not terrible for you to have an indication to sell. But then this happens, and the buyers just dominate over the sellers, indicating you should probably market buy. Now, this coin will probably keep going up. Now, let's see if there's actually a way we can hop on this trend in the short term. Maybe I could do something kind of fun, like a tight stop loss, high leverage trade. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need a really good reason for it. So let's do a little bit more analysis. I'm going to go here, and I just want to go look at aggregated futures just to go see what's going on here. I just want to see how many people are market buying and market selling. Yeah, so when we look at the aggregated, everyone's buying. There's no one selling, and this right here just looks quite bullish to tell you the truth. So that's yeah, even more bullish. Now let's go back to here and go see if there's any levels I should be worried about when it comes to trap traders. What you can see here is also, do you see the lowered highs here indicating trap people? This is actually even more bullish now because we've actually crossed over major points of resistance. It's just surged past resistance, which for those that know trading, that's a pretty good sign. So this is looking pretty strong to continue. So now that I want to buy, we go into execution phase. Execution is when I'm going to market buy. When do I market buy? Well, there's a lot of different theories on the best time for you to execute a scalping trade. My theory is what I like to wait for is weak amount of market selling. I want to wait for one of these market phases right here, which I call a supply run. This is a demand run because there's demand coming in. What's eventually going to happen is we're going to get a bit of supply coming in, and that's when you execute. If you are bullish on something, can you buy during a demand run? Yes, you can. It can make you money, but it's not the best way to do it, because typically you want to attack the weak and not really join the strong. So what I mean, well, you are joining the strong by doing this, but what you want to wait for is, do you guys see in this beautiful price trend right here? Do you guys see these just slow, just tiny amounts of selling that just really no one was selling? Not only does that give you a lower price for you to buy, but it also gives you an even stronger indication that price is likely not going to fall. So you want to wait for supply runs. So if you're a beginner scalper, I would recommend actually not just ripping it in to just demand. You want to wait for the demand to show you where price is going to go, but then you wait for supply to actually execute your order. And right now, unfortunately, there was a bit of supply coming in, but did you guys see what just happened there? Demand took over. Demand just, there was a large market buy and they were like, nope, we're going to go higher. So unfortunately, this coin might just keep surging. I hope it doesn't create a V-shaped formation where when it starts going down, you buy and then it keeps going down. But we'll just have to see what happens here. At the same time, I want to go look at BTC just to make sure the correlate. Yeah, Bitcoin's doing nothing, guys. Bitcoin's just flat. It might go up a little bit, but there's just nothing happening. So this coin rising really doesn't look like it has anything to do with Bitcoin, which makes it even more bullish. So we are getting a bit of selling, but what I want to see is one of these candles, guys. I want to see a just decent red candle. Just give me a decent red candle with some bad selling, and I'll just buy. But right now, not much reason for me to buy, even though I wish I had bought a little bit earlier, of course. So let's go into, ooh, GMT might be filling soon. Let me two screen it and also go to Velodrome. So I'm going to have two different charts, two different terminals here. Let me go to Velodrome, and here we go. So here is the coin. Hopefully GMT will fill soon. It probably should be able to. And then I will put in my take profit, my stop loss, and stuff like that. So is this one going to actually give me an opportunity? Well, we're about to see if we can get some decent selling that we can attack into. Um, if we get a lot of selling, obviously we're not buying. If price just tanks with heavy selling, why would you buy? You know, the thing is also Bitcoin is falling a little bit, or actually more than just a little bit. We're down to 94,000. So this could cause some bearish movement on altcoins for sure. Altcoins that are correlated. And it doesn't really look like Velodrome has any correlation to Bitcoin because this one just keeps going up because the amount of demand is just insane. Strong open interest showing that people are initiating positions. That's a great sign. And then not only that, but just strong demand with zero supply. So yeah, it probably would have been better in this opportunity to buy into the demand. But I'm a man of principles. I want to wait for some more supply. Give me just one or two bearish candles in a row, and and I'll get in. So, but of course, we're just going to keep going up because everyone on the planet's buying Velodrome right now. Has anyone in chat front ran me and bought it? Bet you at least someone has bought this coin. When I started to say it's quite bullish, someone must have been like, "Yeah, market buy." Bennett said it's bullish. At least I hope someone did, because then you're making more money than me. Orion Terminal. Let me go see if there's anything else. I'm gonna keep an eye on Velodrome, but let's go see. There's Ban USDT. Obviously, Velodrome is doing well. I changed 1 hour. Let's go see. So we have Joe USDT, but that is so correlated, it's kind of boring. What else do we have? We got Grass USDT. Anything that's not correlated? Chat GPT USDT. I can look at you, but does this have enough market volatility? It's kind of at the highs, so there is that. Could be interesting. Oh my gosh, look at this demand. Seriously. So much demand. Just endless amounts of demand for that coin. CG CG CGPT. This one doesn't really have anything too special. Guys, just to let you know, if you want to know something to not market buy and not market sell, it's this. Yes, the buyers are stronger than the sellers. I see that, but there's just nothing happening here. So why would you ever buy this? Could price surge? I mean, it definitely could, but there's just nothing happening. So no reason to trade that. Looks like we're about to be filled on our first trade. We just need to go up a little bit more to 20443 for my 5 grand order. I think we'll be able to get there. And did we just hit there, or are you going to front run me at 20442? Of course, price went up to 20442 because my order was at 20443. So one tick difference, one tick away from getting filled, as you can see. Hoping we can still get filled. I'm not going to change my order yet. Not really much reason to. I'm still hoping that we can go a little bit higher. But now would be a good time to sell. I could talk myself into market selling right now. I definitely could. Yeah, I don't know. I really hope that I didn't get one ticked where price went one tick below my order because that would be kind of sad. Yeah. Are you guys trading any of these coins? Have you guys shorted this guy, bought the other one, a Velodrome? Let me know. Looking at the demand supply, not going to buy yet. I'd love to buy if we get a little bit more selling. That'd be great. All right. But yeah, of course, if you guys have any questions, now is definitely the time because you will not have access to me after the stream, of course. Um, Still no fill on GMT USDT, but we'll let it play out. Let me actually go look at GMT USDT, the thing that we're about to short, just to make sure that everything's okay. That let me go see. So I'm not really. I mean, demand is beating supply, and we also have strong open interest. But my theory is that what's happening is there's trap buyers here, there are trap buyers here, trap buyers here, and trapped buyers here. So I'm expecting that hopefully we can go up a little bit higher and then begin to just to come back down naturally, right? Hopefully that can happen. But it seems like I keep getting front ran and my order's not getting filled, which is quite unfortunate. And it's going to happen on Bing X because it's Bing X. But I don't really hate this trade. I think that this is going to be not a bad trade. One quick little trading tool tip if you guys want it. What you probably should be in the idea of is calling a trade bad or good, before the trade results. So, what is an example of a bad trade versus a good trade? What is a good trade? A good trade follows your system. A good trade is risk managed. A good trade is everything that you're trying to get out of the market. And once you execute that trade, we don't know what's going to happen. It's a probability game. It's randomness. There's a mix of probability. It's a mix of randomness and skill. Now, what is a bad trade? Well, here's a bad trade. Imagine that you close your eyes, hover over long or short at 50x leverage, and you randomly short 50x leverage and make 5 grand. Is that a good or a bad trade? It is a good trade that you made money, but it is a bad trade decision making wise. Why? Well, if you repeated that process time and time again, you are almost, certain to lose your entire account if you're on 50x cross leverage. So this is what defines a good or bad trade. Really not the result, but your analysis beforehand. I hope that makes sense. Because the market's hard enough, and you want to make it easier for yourself by just following your system and not trying to do anything too complicated or too fancy. So on Velodrome, we are getting a little bit of a retracement. So now could be the time to strike. Let's go look at Velodrome actually. This could be the time that I want to get in. Did I just get front ran again? Oh my gosh, guys! It went up to 20442 again. It's front running me by one tick. I think I might have to cancel my order and just market sell or something. I mean, really, it just really does not want to. Ooh, that's actually a decent amount of supply coming in. That's actually not nothing. It really doesn't want to fill my order, so I think I might have to just cancel my order. One thing you can do if people keep front running you like that, you can see I've gotten front run so many times by this silly exchange. If they keep doing that, you just have to market sell. It's just the way that it is. Or you could grid sell, but this is going to likely go down now. Let me go look at how much selling we're really talking about, though. Let me go see here. GMT, how much selling are we talking about? Yeah, it's actually not a small amount of selling. So unfortunately, we got front run on GMT, and of course, it just fell. Yeah. How do we feel about this? Well, um, there's a lot of selling. So I'm actually thinking weirdly, I know this is strange, but I'm kind of a little bit bearish now. I'm a little bit bearish for a few reasons. Yeah. I mean, open interest falling a little bit, selling coming in. I could take a very speculative short and then just try to, maybe put my stop loss at up here because this is actually looking a little bit more bearish than I originally thought. Because look at the amount of market selling. That's a lot of market selling. So I wouldn't be shocked if this thing actually fell a little bit more. So I think what I want to do is probably just short around 21. Let's get into how much is 50,000? Oh, that's probably a little too much. 10,000? So 10,000 at that price. If I can just wait for a little bit of bad demand to come in. And the reason I'm flipping my position is I don't know about you, but I just kind of see this as pretty strong selling, right? I'm going to diagnose that as pretty strong selling. So I'm going to attack that. All right. So we have our first order in, bit of a weird one, but we have shorted 10 grand worth of Velodrome. Again, is this a bad or a good trade? We will have to see the result. But let's go through my analysis before we actually get the result, guys, okay? What's my analysis here? My analysis was that we were quite bullish. However, we got a lot of selling coming in, right? So because we got so much selling coming in, I'm kind of thinking we might just chill here and then just go down. Because look at the volume spike here. Look at the drop in open interest showing people panicking a little bit. And most importantly, look at this. The only other thing maybe I want to look at is this kind of volume. Let me actually delete that last bracket. .p. Now, we are currently at break even. Nothing's happened, as you can see, because we shorted 21 and we're at 21 right now. A little bit of demand coming in. You can see actually here that the volume is a little bit different. Now, one thing I will say is you might say, well, Bennett, which one's better? Because there's two sources of volume you're going to get. You're going to get volume delta, and that's going to be aggregated just from the futures market. But this is just Binance and Bybit. However, if you use TradingView, this is aggregated in 9 different exchanges, both spot and perp. So I would make the argument that it's probably a bit better to use this one. And that's actually bad news for me. Why? Well, my short for Velodrome was based on the analysis here and not based on the analysis, here. Because this is a very different kind of market situation than this, but we're just going to have to see how the trade goes. Now, as for my stop loss, I'm going to use the OI profile to set my stop loss. I'm going to keep it simple, guys. I'm just going to do a 213. My argument is that if we go up to 213, we're just going to go higher. So I am very comfortable losing at 213 and having a much larger take profit down here. Okay. So to do that, we're just going to do this. We're going to go to position TPSL. I'm going to type that one in. So 0.2133. I think that is a pretty healthy stop loss. And I'm going to put my take profit guys at 203. So, or actually I can do like a 2-to-1 exactly. It would be kind of cool. 2034 this is exactly a 2-to-1 trade. I'm either going to make 66 or lose 33. That's 2-to-1 by my math. Confirm. And this trade is done. No, it has not hit my stop loss or my take profit, but it's done in the sense that, I've put all my orders out. So there's nothing really to talk about now, unless, things change If I get a complete surge of buying or surge of selling, that could change my opinions. But other than that, there's not really much reason for me to do, um, you know, much of anything here. Now, GMT, I don't really know if I want to trade it anymore, so I'm probably just going to exit out of that. GMT is just being kind of annoying. Well, so is Velodrome, to be honest, though, too. All right, is there anything else that we want to get? CGPT, kind of just chilling. Me USDT. If you guys have any other coins that you want me to analyze, do let me know in chat, and I can go analyze them and very likely trade them too. We are currently break even on our trade. We shorted again exactly just at 2-1 with a limit order. I don't think a market order actually. And nothing's happened. Just nothing at all has happened. Let's go look at the supply demand because I am willing to change my opinion if the market tells me something different, right? So I am willing to take a tiny like $5, $10 loss if the market's telling me that a lot of demand's coming in. But is the market telling me that? No, not really. And if we go look here, I'm not really seeing, anything that's telling me this is crazy bullish. Is it telling me that it's bullish? Yeah, potentially, but crazy bullish? No. By no means is this very, very, very bullish. It was very bullish here, and when I was talking to you about it, but here things have changed. People are beginning to sell, and you can see that indicated here in the trend. So, in the trend of volume and in open interest, and of course, in price. Now, I bet you if I did Google Trends of this, no one would be looking it up. So that is one thing to think of as well. And luckily, we are, I wouldn't say luckily because it's a mix of luck and skill, but we are in the green. So we'll see how this one goes. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about Velodrome too much anymore because there's just, we've already initiated the trade. Not really too much to talk about with that. Let me go look at some other ones. There's always Farcoin, which is the silliest thing I've ever heard. We can go look at you. They don't have it, of course. But yeah, analyzing this coin's probably just not even worth it because we've already traded it. So V delta is another thing that you can look at. You can see, the amount of market buying versus market selling. GMT has a lot of market buying, as you can see. And do you guys see what I was talking about before with these lower highs? And I predicted that we would do this. Now here's the kind of sad thing. I should be in a short right now, but BingX has been getting on my nerves more and more, to be honest with you. And if you look here, I put a limit order out at 204.43, and look where Binance went. Well, actually, no, Binance didn't even go up to 204.43. So there's that. But I did put a limit sell order here that got front ran by all the exchanges, as you can see, and we went down. So I just want to let you guys know that this was probably going to be the best trade of the day. But I want you guys to understand why this happened. OI profile was indicating strong resistance here. We have trapped buyers at these highs too, and we got a lot of bearishness coming in. So that would have been a great place for you to short. Now, has anyone in chat taken any of these trades? Has anyone actually shorted or longed? Because a lot of my trades today have been actually selling, have been shorting. As you can see. What are other coins that might be interesting? GMT obviously is always on the mind. Cow USDT. I can go look at Cow because I know that's a fun one to trade, especially on high leverage, within reason. Whoa! Why did no one tell me about this coin previously? This has got a beautiful downtrend. Look at that downtrend. Wow. So there's a lot going on here, guys, and a lot of fun to be had, hopefully. So if we look here, the OI profile is indicating pretty strong resistance right here, a little bit above price, guys, at around 1, which makes sense that a lot of people are going to initiate trades at the $1 price. So what would you do about that? Well, I would probably just want to short a little bit above 1. Just keep it stupid simple. Now, what else can we look at? Well, if I look at open interest and stuff like that, what I see here is a surge in open interest on this downtrend and a lot of market selling. So this is looking beautiful for a short. Really, really, really beautiful. Why is it looking beautiful for a short? The risk reward. Because we have so many people that initiated positions here, which is going to be indicated to you visually by the green, what you could do is short anywhere around this price area and just put a stop loss right above the green. Why does that work? Well, that tends to work quite well because so many people open positions here on this bearish candle that if a lot of these people, well, let me tell you this about open interest, guys, and what this means. Hey guys, if open interest profile shows a lot of green, that means a lot of people open positions. What does that mean? Well, what is a position? Whenever open interest rises, that guarantees that both longs and shorts have entered the market. Now, why does that matter? It's everything. Why is it everything? Well, when price falls, what tends to happen? Well, guys, when price falls, how are the shorts feeling? They're feeling pretty happy. Do they feel like they need to buy right now and cover their positions and take profit? No, they're just chilling. How do the longs feel though? They're terrified. They're terrified of losing their entire account. They're terrified of everything. So, what is this telling you? This is telling you that both longs and shorts opened around this price area. Now, what I'm telling you is that if a lot of longs had opened here and are still in the market and not stopped out, which they might have been stopped out here, then what's going to happen is it's going to be very difficult for price to break this level. Because if there are a lot of scared longs, guess what tends to happen when a lot of longs get scared? Price tanks. Because that means that a lot of longs are selling and that a lot of longs want to sell, indicating future supply in a market. So this is a beautiful, beautiful market to short, right? But the question is, where do you short? What I would love to do is to short right above one. That would be the perfect, perfect, perfect price spot. To short right above one and have a very tight stop loss would be beautiful. But are we even going to get to $1 on this coin before we tank again? I don't know. One other thing that I want to look at, guys, is the correlation. So to see correlation, we're just going to go down to cow, which is right here, and it has a 35 correlation, which is not too high. I think what I might want to do is do a 50-50, guys, where I'm going to short 50% now, then 50% at right above $1. I don't think that that's a bad idea. To maybe short a little bit at 994. Yeah, how about 994? And then I also short at like 1.004. I think that's actually quite perfect. So I'm going to do it that way. So let's go to Cal USDT, and I'm going to put an order out at 0.994. This is what I've told you before. I'm going to do an 1,000, and then I'm also going to put out an order at 1.004. And then that's perfect. There you go. So those are my two orders, as you can see right there. And then our stop loss is going to be around here. All right. So hopefully we can go a little bit higher to fill my 994. Just need a little bit more demand to come in. Hopefully I don't get front ran this time. I don't think I'm going to get front ran. I think I'll be able to probably short with success. The velodrome position is down a little bit, but not really bothering me. It's fine. What's more important than where price goes, guys, is market buying and market selling. And I just want to go take a quick look on velodrome just to go see if people are market buying or market selling it. So I'm going to keep cow USDT in the back burner there. And yeah, so there actually is some demand coming in. I'm not going to lie. So there is some open interest coming in. There is some demand coming in. And it looks like this was the only selling we got. That's part of just like the luck for skill thing. We don't always know when more people are going to sell. You can never know. But this is looking a little bit more like it's gonna go above the high here, right? So I'm not the most bearish on this anymore because the sellers just kind of are boring. The sellers just kind of gave up. The only thing I could hope for is if price begins to fall and then sellers begin to really take over, that could be good. Yep, and we have shorted on Cal, as you can see right there. We have two shorts open, but it looks like Velodrome's not going to be going too well. Are we going to get any selling, or did demand just completely take over? We'll have to see. One thing I will say is this a bad or good trade based on my initial analysis? I would argue that this was really not a bad trade because look, we have heavy selling, we have a drop in open interest, and we have this volume delta here showing a lot of people selling. The only problem with me shorting this coin was this. This is a very different volume reading. This is telling you that look, the sellers are not in control. Yeah, I mean they had a little bit of power here, but not much. The buyers had a good reaction, so I'm gonna let it play out. Hopefully, we can get a little bit more selling coming in. But for now, these are my positions. Hopefully, we shorted cow at the top, at the local market top, and it will just tank to the floor. So, with that being said, I am going to put a position stop loss on it just to protect myself. So, a good stop loss, where would it be? Well, let's go look at the profiles. The profile is indicating to me that maybe I should put it around here, or like 1.01. Because then it's also previous support becomes future resistance. So 1.015 I think is pretty healthy, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna do 1.106. I think that's perfect. Now, as for my take profit, I want to bet on a lot more. Um, a lot more. I want to bet on a large drop because I don't know about you, but I feel like this coin could really fly in my favor, meaning tanking to the ground. I would even wager below 95, which is pretty large drop, but I could do this. I could do a 2-to-1 trade, which would be like a this perfect. So that is a 2-to-1 trade right there. You can see I'm actually just going to cancel this, and that is the trade. You can see my take profit and stop loss. The beauty of these trades, guys, are that if one of my stop losses hit and the other one makes me money, I am net profitable for the day. And that's the beauty of having a larger reward than risk. Is that if one trade doesn't go well, but the other trade does, you make more money than you lose because you're holding out for more profit than loss. So we'll have to see what Cow USDT does. Not really any. I don't really have any, inkling to try to short more or to try to do anything different. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Hopefully, guys, the market sellers really take over because do you see how strong they were down here, and do you see how weak the buying is? I mean, if anything, this makes me want to just short more because look, the buyers are really struggling here. And if we look on TradingView to see more market data, on Cow USDT, I'll bet you anything. There's just no one buying. Let's go see though. Yeah, so there's just no one buying. I mean, there was this kind of weird thing here, but I mean, it got countered right away, so we can kind of ignore it. This is very bearish, guys. Beautiful. This is very, very, very bearish. So, could it go up? Yeah, it could totally go up. I mean, we don't always know the future, but it's more likely than not probably gonna go down. This coin though is probably gonna lose me money, as you can see right there. But we'll just have to see. Hopefully, what happens is this one hits my take profit, and the other one hits my stop loss, and then we're net profitable for the day, right? Are there any other trades that I can take that before break? I'm gonna do a 5 minute break. Let me go see if there's any action on any of these. Ban USDT has been flying lower. Look at you. But the thing is, I kind of want to hedge my portfolio of all shorts because like everything I'm doing is short, and I want maybe a long. So let's go look at OI change 8 hour to go see if there's anything good here that I could talk myself into maybe buying. Virtual USDT is just going sideways. GMT, we've talked about that at length. Ooh, what's this one? Power USDT is looking quite interesting. So you can see here. Let me go take a look at that. Ooh, some selling coming into Velodrome. That's good. The Power USDT. Ooh, wow, that is looking really, really, really bullish. All market buying, open interest surging. Yeah. So that is looking very, very, very bullish. Yeah, I got to get on this one. So, is there any selling that's going to occur that I could get into? Let me go see here. Auto. Yeah, there's a surge of demand for this coin for sure. So one thing that I could do is do a high leverage trade. Um, so if I do high leverage, would I even be able to get 20,000 in? Let me go see power. Yeah, so this one it might be kind of tough. Where would I want to put my stop loss and take profit though? Let me go see 5 minute. Kind of want price to keep falling a little bit. A little bit more falling would be great, and then we're gonna execute. So, I think that okay. It's good that we fell more. All right, let me do that. And we have entered into the trade. So this is going to be a higher level trade at $5,000. So it's going to be a little bit more higher risk, but it's not really anything to worry about because I'm going to have a tight stop loss. Power USDT, hopefully you send to the moon. So what we're going to do, guys, is just put a stop loss really, really, really tight down here at like 253. Okay. And then we'll just go from there. So I'm going to put my stop loss at position TPSL and put this at like 0.2592 or something like that. Or no, wait, what is it? 2.527. Yeah, that's perfect. 2.5. I think that's a pretty good stop loss. And then as for my take profit, I want to go above the high. So it's going to be a 2.565. So 0.25s. I'll do it like that. No, actually, I want to do a 1-to-1 trade. I'm going to do 6.9. Yeah, it's perfect. All right, we have the trade in. There you go. So we'll see how this one goes. If not more demand comes in, then whatever. We just lose money on that trade, so that's fine. And yeah, well, I mean, we'll just have to see. So here's what I will say about high leverage trading: you can trade high leverage, but you got to be so careful. I mean, You can size up a little bit if you have a good inkling of, hey, I think that a lot of demand, hey, I think a lot of supply is going to come in, but you got to have a tight stop loss, and that's what I'm doing here. I mean, a $44 loss is kind of irrelevant. It's not really too much, but obviously you need to be only comfortable losing what you are comfortable losing. So you do need to keep that in mind. Okay. I think that this is a perfect time for me to go on break and probably just leave this screen right here just so we can see. Or even better, I could just go to TradingView and give you 1 second data of Power USDT. And then hopefully you'll hope with me. So I'm going to be doing a 5 minute break. Hopefully that this hits my what's it called? My take profit. My take profit is at 2569. So yeah, pray that it hits 2569. All right, guys, I will see you guys at 10:45 Central Time in 5 minutes, and then we will continue trading. Let's see if this coin goes up or if this coin goes down and I lose money. See you guys in 5. All right, we are back. Of course, the SL was hit, and then we're about to hit my TP, and that's just what can happen when you use, a tight stop loss, tight profit. It's just, part of how it goes. So, yeah, I was stopped out, and now, of course, we're gonna go hit my profit. What should I do here? I mean, what would be the most disciplined thing? Um, I actually kinda still wanna buy, even though I just got stopped out. If I go to the 1-minute time frame and just look at supply and demand, I kinda think that buying is still a good idea, even though I got stopped out. Oh, but there are these large selling, though. Are these large sells? I don't know. It just seems like it's about to take off, but unfortunately, I got stopped out. Yeah, tricky coin. Let me go see if there's anything else to look at here. UX Link obviously could be another one because it has, like, no correlation with Bitcoin. That's quite nice. Anything else? If you guys have any suggestions for any coins, do let me know. Morpho, I think that's also another coin on Index. And right about there, I think we would have hit my take profit if I hadn't put such a high stop loss event for this year. So yeah, it looks like power. IONX, KMNO. So is this coin getting a lot of selling? I mean, it looks like it's actually a lot more selling than I originally thought. So could I talk myself into actually shorting this? I don't know. It's so weird. It's a very strange coin because this is looking so bullish, but then this is looking so bearish. So who's going to win? TradingView or is it going to be general or not general? Going to be Quantile. Curious. I don't know who really to side with. I mean, this is looking the more accurate one though. So could I talk myself into getting back in? I mean, I could. I think I could for sure. I mean, this looks like there's a lot of selling, but at the same time, the true volume that's coming in is actually market buying, right? The true volume coming in is buying. Well, now it's actually interesting point. Very, very, very interesting. All right. Let me go see what else can we trade. I could also trade Bitcoin. Be quite interesting. I could trade like point 0.5 Bitcoin or something like that. Let me go see what BTC is actually doing. Yeah, Jeremy, I think people are too shy. People are too shy to question. No such thing as a bad question. Just what is it? Just bad answers. Yeah, so Bitcoin has a lot of selling. Definitely a lot of selling. I actually think that buying power just might make sense because triple bottom trap traders. Can I talk myself into getting back in? I think I can. I'm actually gonna go for another one right here that's gonna be a little bit higher, as you can see. We're gonna do a position TPSL on this one as well. And if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. Whatever. But I think that this one is gonna have a bit more demand coming in. So we're gonna be doing a tight stop loss tight. We'll do a 2.57 and a 2.522. I think that's good. There we go. I think that this is good. I don't think this is a bad idea because, I mean, if you just look right here, you can see just the amount of market buying that there is, the amount of open interest, the triple low here. I don't know. I've talked myself into buying here. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't think this is going to be a threat. The market will tell me that, right? The market will tell me that. And the trick is to try to keep your, even when you lose a trade, to try to just keep your demeanor the same, even if you lose like 100 a day, or we'll have to see, and we'll have to see what happens. So, what do I honestly think about this coin now? Well, there was a lot of market buying here, but the market sellers are beginning to take control, of course, right when I market buy, which is a little bit unfortunate. But let's see if we can get any pushback from the market. And more importantly, let me go see actually the profile here, just to go see if any. Yeah, so if you look at the 5 minute, you can just see that a lot of positions have been opened, which is good for me, I guess. So I'm basically betting on the fact that there's going to be a market, that there's going to be a new market high before we retrace. That's basically what I'm betting. Right? Are there any poly market trades that I want to take? I mean, in 10 minutes these markets expire, so I don't really know about that. But this is an interesting one though, power, because it's gonna be an interesting case study in if this goes up or down or really what happens. I think it's gonna go up. Obviously, that's why I long. But we will have. I wouldn't be shocked to see a surge of demand right now and to see price just kill all the shorts and then probably just go down. We'll have to see if that surge of demand does that. So are people going to keep buying, or are people going to recognize higher prices as a point to sell? That's what you always have to ask. The thing is, Bitcoin is falling. That could cause some pressure for power to fall. Um, yeah, or power could just do its own thing. We are currently at break even on power. Not really much happening. We are profitable on Cow USDT. But yeah, not really too much to report. Got Bitcoin going down. Power just chilling. Just maybe not a great day for you to copy my trades because I think like my ideas would have gone well. But the thing is, like, I wasn't able to take trades on the coins that I was bullish or bearish on. It was unfortunate. All right, Power, what are you gonna do? You gonna hit my stop loss again, or are you going to go up? There is that price pick that's a little bit worrying. But let's go look at the data here. So should I be worried about the market selling? I mean, maybe, but I'm essentially banking on the fact that there are bad shorts are trapped here, and that's why we're getting this formation, and then we're probably gonna flip up. I'm betting on this candle flipping up and the next candle. My analysis here is that this market selling is just people selling the lows and not genuine market selling. I am going to be ending the stream very, very, very soon, though. I don't know if we'll get to see the result of this trade. I mean, you can track it on your own to see if power hits 25, whatever, like 0.2522 or 0.258. I think that was my SL on my TP. I can go double check though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We are still just kind of like chilling. We are at 2548, so we're at break even, but there's just not really much happening. Oh, there actually is a bit of demand coming in, which is quite nice. There's some demand coming in. We'll see how that plays out. Trading view looks very, very different when it comes to power USDT. Here, you're going to see the volume tells a very different story. Whether you believe in this kind of volume or whether you believe in this kind of volume, it just depends. I kind of like this one more. That's why I went long and not short, right? But time will tell where this one's even going to go. There is a decent amount of market selling though at these market tops though. But I'm banking that with the amount of open interest we have here, we should be able to pop the top and go higher. But yeah, we should be able to, but that doesn't mean that we will, right? That doesn't mean that we will. It'd be kind of cool to end the stream on my take profit stop loss being hit on the big trade here. Let's see here. So we are currently up money on this power trade, but not really up too much, up like $50. We'll go see what happens. We'll go see if I was right about the demand or if I was wrong. So my take profit is at 258. I am willing to adjust that though if the market tells me that different things are going to happen. Right. In the meantime, let's go look at the 1S for 1 second, just to go see the supply demand at the market top, just to kind of go see what's happening here. So Bitcoin is really like not doing well here, as you can see. Right? With Bitcoin falling, that is going to make power a little bit more bearish. So that is a concern of mine. That Bitcoin falling could be a problem, right? Definitely could be a problem. Yeah. Bitcoin has not had a good few days. And my theory on this is like, I know this is silly, but I feel like people gifted Bitcoin to relatives and stuff, and then those relatives were like, "Hey, how do I sell Bitcoin?" And then they all sold Bitcoin and caused the price. I don't know if that's actually the case, but yeah, definitely Bitcoin's definitely not doing well after its rally up to like 97,000 or whatever it was. Power is still just chilling, still just chilling. You know what? I'm just gonna hold this trade. I don't think that there's any reason to do anything because look, the market buying looks quite strong. The open interest looks quite strong. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's any reason to change. If price goes down and I lose 100, if then it goes down and I lose 100, it's really not too much to worry about because the market buyers are beating the market sellers. So, you know,
this is one of those points in time where you just rely on the probability. If people are strong market buying, then you hope that that continues, and if it doesn't, then you just don't lose money. Nope, our USDT just still chilling. It's just not really knowing what it wants to do. You can get some demand in, maybe we can surge, but at this point in time, it just doesn't really know what to do. Is my take profit a good take profit? So mine's at 258. I'm curious if that's even a good level. It's kinda hard to say where to even take profit. Taking profit's one of those harder things because putting a stop loss for me, guys, is actually easier than putting a take profit. Is it different for you? Because for me, I have theory on where to put my stop loss, but for a take profit, it's a little bit tougher. And I could use this, but, you know, that's not gonna be too helpful for people. Weird looking open interest where it's like a surge of positions and then kinda like a misprint maybe. But you can see on the 5-minute time frame that it's pretty clean. It's showing how much market buying is really occurring. Hopefully, with Bitcoin recovering, if Bitcoin does recover and go upward, we can get a lot more demand in. So I think that's probably just going to about to do it today. I'll put in general whether or not I make money on this trade. Again, you can even track it on your own. It's quite simple. Either price is at 258 or it's at 2522. Really nothing too complex about that. But maybe I'll change some things around, but I doubt it. I don't think that there's much reason for me to sell, guys, because you know when you ask yourself, should I sell? Should I take profit? First, you have to ask yourself, if this was a fresh market and I didn't have any preconceived, anything about this market, would I want to sell here using my system? No, no, I would not. This is looking quite bullish. There's a decent amount of market buying coming in. Correlation to Bitcoin's not too strong, and open interest is rising. So if this was a market that I just logged into and I'm like, hey, I gotta long or sell, I would probably not want to short. I'd probably want to long. If I looked at a little bit more shorter time frame, looked at 1 minute, yeah, I would say that there's a little bit of action here. There was a little bit of selling coming in, but at the end of the day, I'd probably lean toward buying. And whether or not that's profitable or not is up to the market. It's not up to you, right? So, with that analysis being said, I will be holding until one of those orders is hit. The only thing I might change is putting my take profit a little bit higher. If price begins to really surge, then I will put my take profit a bit higher. Besides that, there's just nothing you can really do, right? Hopefully, Bitcoin gets bought up a little bit because that would put some pressure on power to rise. But with this much open interest, we'll have to see. Um, we'll have to see. Do you guys have any final questions for any of these trades, any of my analysis, Google Trend stuff, or is everyone too scared to ask? If this trade is profitable, then we will be up money on the day. If the trade is unprofitable, then obviously we will be down money on the simple as that. I'm banking on this trade to be profitable.
I would give it like a 60% chance of being profitable. I mean, if I was to throw out a number, I would say probably 60% chance we hit my take profit versus my stop loss. But 60% is not a high number by any means. That's why I kind of like lowballed it. So yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of like stalling for time to try to see if this will even do anything, but it just keeps going sideways. There's just nothing I can really talk about here. It just goes a little bit down, then it just chills a little bit up. Yeah. I mean, there's some demand, but is that even enough demand to really do anything? That's the true question. Like we're at 255 and there's some demand here, but if we go to the 1 minute time frame, it's not really too much demand here. So you can't just look at every candle and be like, oh, we're gonna go to the moon, or oh, we're gonna go to the depths of humanity of this coin. With that, happy trading to everyone. I hope that you enjoyed this public stream. If you are curious about whether I'm going to make or lose $150 on this trade, keep track of Power USDT, and you'll see the answer to that, I guess, because I'm going to walk away from my computer and just see how these trades play out. I will post in general to like tell you guys, hey, the trade was profitable, or hey, the trade was unprofitable. But right now, what we're looking at is 100 minus 137 or plus $153. Hopefully, we're going to hit the plus 153, but it's crypto. You really never know. So with that, I hope that you enjoyed yourself today. Yeah, some of the trades were unprofitable, but that's going to happen. Good traders lose money. Bad traders do their absolute best to, not lose money and end up blowing their account. But what good traders are going to do is they're going to be able to lose money. They're going to be able to recognize trends, put their money in, put their chips in when they think that the odds are in their favor. And then, kind of, let things kind of hit a small stop loss when things just aren't really going your way. Right now, this coin is slightly profitable, but again, doesn't really mean much with how much it just goes like randomly um, choppiness up and then choppiness down. Only thing you can really rely on is your system. So happy trading to everyone and enjoy your Friday. Peace and see you guys.